Hey, welcome back to Midweek Encouragement. Thank you for joining us today. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is that you are joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Have you ever been visiting a friend's house and felt that the house was either too warm or too cold? If Goldilocks would have had the opportunity to use a thermometer, I bet she would have broke it too. Um, but if you were at somebody else's house, would you go and adjust the thermostat? Not ask them, you just go and do it. Well, what if you were at your grandparents' house or a relative's house? Would you feel that you had the privilege of going and changing, adjusting the thermostat? At the gym I work out in, there are locked covers over the thermostats. Now, I think if I brought a paper clip or maybe a popsicle stick, I could adjust the thermometer, the thermostat in the room. Or at least I could take the paper clip and maybe pick the lock. With the remodeling here at the church, or if I was able to have a brand new church building, I'd like to put one of those dial thermostats on the wall. Now, it wouldn't have any wires connected to it. It would just be on the wall. And anyone and everyone could have access to it. Like I said, it wouldn't be wired to the heat and air system. It would just be a dial on the wall, and anyone who wanted to could go and set it where they wanted to, no problem. Now, the thermostats here at the church, they're digital. And if you're going to adjust them, you either need to have read the directions or been taught how to do it. Because if you try to adjust them, well, if you open up the cover, there's instructions. But if you open up to read the instructions, bring a microscope. No, I didn't misspeak. You probably thought I meant magnifying glass. No, microscope. The print is very small, and bifocals just may not be enough. It is some fine, fine print. So I try to teach as many people in the church as I can to know how, because nobody really knows how to do it. Before the days of cable TV and internet, many people had antennas on their house to watch television. You might remember adjusting these and hoping you might get a better signal back in those 3 and 4 channel days. You might have put aluminum foil on the antennas or the rabbit ears of the TV. Then you tried to adjust the dial to try to get the best picture that you could. And if all that failed, nothing like a good whack with the hand on the side of the TV. Gave you some satisfaction, but it didn't always fix the reception problem. I think it's tempting to adjust other people from time to time. Now, please, whatever you do, no matter how tempting it might be and how much you know the outcome might make an improvement, you probably shouldn't give them a whack upside the head. Or you probably shouldn't twist them, even if you truly believe it's going to help. 1 Corinthians 8:1 says, "We know that we all possess knowledge, but if knowledge puffs up, we know that knowledge puffs up while love builds up." Trying to adjust someone else isn't love, and it's really not your job unless you see them slipping into sin. Because in Galatians 6:1 it says, if another believer is overcome by sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back into the right path. And be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. I believe that sometimes we ought to just put our hands in our pocket and pray for them and allow the professional, the Holy Spirit, to intercede and do the adjusting, because we may be the one that really needs adjusted. I've often said burning down the thoughts and ideas of someone else doesn't make you right, it makes you an arsonist. Or as a friend reminded me today, blowing out someone else's candle doesn't make you brighter. The Holy Spirit has a lot more experience, and his ways are perfect and they're higher than our ways. I am so thankful that God is patient with us. So let's work at being patient with ourselves and others. Shouting at a flower seed won't make it bloom. Proverbs 26:17, getting into someone else's argument is like picking up a dog by the ears. Now, that's just not just any dog. It's a mad dog after that. Before you jump into someone else's mess to save them, make sure you're not interrupting a lesson they were meant to learn. I'm reminded of 1 Corinthians 13, starting at verse 4. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful or proud or rude. It does not demand its own way. It is not irritable. It keeps no records of wrong. It does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices wherever the truth wins out. Love never gives up. It never loses faith. It's always hopeful and endures through every circumstance. Prophecy and speaking in unknown languages and special knowledge will become useless, but love will last forever. Some translations say love never fails. Now, go back and look at that again on your own time. I didn't see anywhere where it says love adjusts other people. Love twists people. It doesn't. So we need to ask ourselves, where is my adjustment knob? And which direction is the Holy Spirit telling you to turn yours? Now, my friends, I am so thankful that God is patient with us, not wanting anyone to perish. And maybe we need to allow Him to start adjusting us so that we can be who He desires us to be. Think about this and be blessed.